As a blogger, if you want to maximize your reach and visibility for your blog, you should be focusing on one thing. What's up, hustlers? Chris Morgan here with bloghustlers.com. Welcome to my channel, the channel where it's all about helping you build your blog, create awesome content, and helping others grow. Now, if this is your first time visiting my channel, to grow your blog, ignite your hustle by hitting that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell to stay up to date with the videos I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, tailor-made to help you build your blog. Now, if you want to grow your blog and have your blog thrive, you need to have a content strategy in place. And today in this video, I'm going to share with you my content strategy that I use to plan my content in only 1 hour. But before I start, let me ask you a few questions. Do you have a content strategy for your blog? If so, has it worked for you? Now, if you answer no to these questions, then keep watching to the end because you're going to learn the most important things that you need to include in your content strategy to grow your blog.
Alrighty then.
But not only that, you're also going to learn a simple way to schedule your content as well. Now, in this video, I decided to do things a little different from the previous video that I did. Now, anyone can be a blogger, but what most bloggers won't tell you that you need to strategize your content to set up your traffic for long-term growth. So in this video, I put together my 5-step template that I use to help make things a lot easier. And make sure you watch this to the end because you don't want to miss these steps because they are all equally important to hitting the right content to get traffic to your blog. So in this video, these are the steps that you're going to learn. Now, the first step is choosing a broad topic. And in the second step, you're going to learn how to drill down and find the top keywords for your broad topic. And also in the third step, you're going to learn how to create as many content ideas for your top keywords. Now, in the fourth step, this is where you want to decide what content types you want to use. And last but not least, in the fifth step, this is where you'll be scheduling your content and knowing where to market your content as well. So with that being said, let's get hustling. All right, so let's get started with step 1, choosing broad topics. Now, the first step is fairly simple and quick because in the previous video, I went over how I find 3 months worth of blog post topics to find endless amount of blogging content to write about. And in that video, I talked about picking broad topics and then scaling down for laser targeted growth for your blog. So if you want to check out that video, I'll be sure to link that video in the card above. So to add on to that, start out by going to places that your target audience may be. Now, these places can be YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Quora, blogging forums, or even forums that's related to your niche. So for example, if I want to create content about LinkedIn, I then will go to YouTube and do a quick search of my broad topic to see if that content is getting traffic to it. So here I do a broad search about LinkedIn, and then I start to copy all the broad content ideas that I want to blog about. Now, this first step will help you to understand what types of content works and also what content creators are not talking about so that you can create content around that to present content to people that's already looking for it. Now, the reason for this step is to identify content clusters that get huge numbers of searches per month. Now, the trick is to not target a very competitive keyword single-handedly, but the trick is to build a content cluster that will help each and every piece of content related to that broad keyword to rank in Google or even in YouTube. Do you have a content strategy? Let me know down in the comments how your content strategy works for you and the steps you took to create it. All right, next up, step 2, drill down and find top keywords for your topic. Now that I identified the broad topics that I can build my content cluster around, my next step is to scale down those broad keywords that I search for to get an accurate number of searches per month. Now, in the video I recently published, I talked about the 5 best content tools, and in that video, I showed you tips that I use to get targeted searches per month. Now, to do this, start out by doing a quick search in Google. Now, I also want to add that if you have keywords everywhere, this will make the keyword research step a whole lot easier. Now, even though it costs $10 for 100,000 credits, there are other ways to identify targeted keywords, but it will make the process a whole lot longer. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to use the keywords everywhere tool. Now here I start by typing in my broad keyword, and in this example, I'm going to use LinkedIn. Now, after typing in that broad topic, if you look to the right, you will see a list of secondary keywords with searches per month beside them. When using the content cluster technique, this gives your blog or even your YouTube channel more authority on this topic. Now, this strategy is so powerful, marketers you already know use the content cluster technique.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
So for example, let's take a look at Brian Dean and see how he groups his content around certain keywords. Now, I want to get an accurate result, so here I go in incognito mode and type in a broad keyword phrase like SEO. Now, the amazing thing about this, these are broad topics that are super competitive, giving them even more chances to dominate a low competition keyword. Next, I use Google Trends to identify how many searches per month that broad keywords gets and determine whether that keyword is on an upward trend or a downward trend. Now, if you find the value in this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Now, on to step 3. Create as many content ideas for your topic keywords. Now, with step 3, you want to research your first top 3 to 5 blog posts that are ranking for the scale keyword that you are choosing. So for example, in the last step, I chose LinkedIn. So here I'm going to research the keyword LinkedIn blog. Now, when doing research in Google, there are a few things that you want to pay attention to. This will help you to determine how easy it will be for you to rank your blog post for that keyword phrase. Now, first, after typing in your keyword, search for the date on blog post that was published. Now, as you can see here, the second result was published in 2014. Now, that is a clear indication that you have a high chance of ranking for that search term. So if you see things like forums, Quora posts, or even Facebook posts, this lets you know that you have a very good chance of ranking for that blog post search term if that result comes up. Now, the reason for this, Google is always looking for new and fresh content that people are already looking for, and it is the exact same for YouTube. Now, the second thing that you need to look for, are they targeting the exact keyword? Are they targeting the keyword in their title? Is it even in their URL? Is it in their description? Now, determining these factors will help you to build an even more optimized blog post. Now, in another video that I created, and in that video, I showed you how I wrote a fully optimized blog post over 3,000 words. So if you want to check that video out, now I'll be sure to link that video in the card above. Now, the last part of step 3, you want to know what's the total count of the top 3 to 5 blog posts in the search results. Now, this is known as the skyscraper technique created by Brian Dean of Backlinko. Now, you want to make your content even better than the top 3 to 5 results, giving even more value in your blog post. Now, this can be done by adding more relevant videos, images, or even infographics in your blog post. Now, it's human nature to be attracted to the best, so create the best content possible and give people a reason to link to your content. Now, these 3 steps will help you to understand how you want to formulate your content based on what your competitors are not talking about in their blog posts or even their YouTube videos. All right, now on to step 4, deciding what content types to create. Now, in step 4 is where you really start to get creative with your content. Now, for some bloggers, creating content can be difficult, but creating multiple styles of content can be overwhelming even for the newest bloggers. Now, for example, in step 3, I chose the keyword phrase LinkedIn blog. So if we already done our research on Google to determine whether we have a good chance at ranking that blog post, then we already know what our content type will be. But how can we expand on that? As a blogger, if you want to maximize your reach and visibility for your blog, you should be focusing on one thing, and that's repurposing your content. Now, creating 5,000 or 7,000 word blog posts, creating graphics, coming up with content to put on social media, it all takes time, and you should get the most out of that time. So here you decide how many pieces of content you want to get out of one piece. Now, this is what I like to call the content blitz. Now, for most of you that aren't familiar with the football term, a blitz comes from anywhere and everywhere, and it comes all at one time. Now, in this step, you want to take one piece of content and repurpose it into 6 to 8 pieces of content, giving you even more chances to get your content found. Now, these pieces of content could be YouTube videos, social media posts taking the strong point that was made in your blog post, slide share presentations, infographics, Pinterest images, and so many more. Now the goal is to share all of this content on the same day or days after when you publish your first piece of content that you created. All right. Last but not least, step 5, scheduling your content and knowing where to market your content. Now in this step, I want to schedule and somewhat automate the process of syndicating our repurposed content. Now it's important to keep in mind that some of the processes will not be automated, and for that reason in this step we're going to use Asana to start things off. Now using Asana, when you set your content calendar, Asana will automatically send you an email letting you know that your content needs to be published. Now I do this to help me keep things organized. Now in another video, I showed you how I use Asana to schedule my blog post content. So I'll be sure to link that video in the card above, and also I'll leave these videos and all this information in the description below. So in this step, I want to do things a little different. Now I already have a tool that will do most of the syndicate, but here I want to think about the content that I won't be able to syndicate using that tool. Now to start things off, I add a project and name one of them Slide Shares, and I add another project and call that LinkedIn. Next, I add a task and give it a name and set the due date for the content. Now I follow this until I build my content for those platforms. Now after creating my content schedule with Asana, then I use the tool called Later. Now Later is a paid tool, but they also have a free version that gives you up to 30 scheduled posts a month per social platform if you're on a budget like I am. Now using the tool Later, those social platforms include your Facebook profile or your Facebook pages, Pinterest, Twitter, and even Instagram. So to start things off, sign up under the free version. Next, you want to add in your social media networks. Now to do this, go to social media profile and groups in the left column. Next, you want to click on details to add your social media profile and connect them one at a time. Next, I take the content that I want to add to social media that's from my blog post. Now, for example, here I wrote a blog post titled, "What should I blog about? 11 tips that will boost your blog." And in that post, I shared 11 tips that will help you gain more readers to your blog. So that can be a good idea to put into an infographic to get more shares by sharing it to Pinterest. Now, for instance, Twitter is a powerful place to share quotes or even powerful messages that you wrote in your blog post. Now, this is a good way to share your content with your potential audience that you want to reach. Now, to do this, pick the social network that you want to schedule your post to. Next, you want to upload your image. So, for example, I'm going to schedule an image to Pinterest using my YouTube thumbnail that I create. So you want to make sure you downloaded the app to your phone to set up your social media scheduling as well. So as you can see here, I added a post to my Instagram account all from my phone, and it only took 1 minute to schedule this post. There are 5 steps that I use to create a solid content strategy for my blogging business. So if you're watching this video and interested in building your blog, increasing your traffic, and growing an engaged audience to take your blogging business to the next level, then consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest videos I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, tailor-made to help you build your blogging business. Now, if you're ready to build your blog and want new content strategies to help you build your blog, then I put together a short playlist right here that goes into great detail to show you how to build solid content for your blog. Now, as always, guys, I appreciate you. Keep making awesome content, keep hustling, and I'll see you in the next one.